I get tons of people that don't like Dave Ramsey because there is a segment of people in our culture that don't like to be told that they can win. If I tell someone that is hell bent on being a victim that they can win, they don't like it. It makes them mad. Don't tell me I can win because then that takes away all my excuses. It takes away the fact that I might have to deal with the person in my mirror. And if I convince you that your category, whatever category you have stuck yourself in, I'm skinny, I'm fat, I'm man, I'm woman, I'm black, I'm white, I'm purple, I'm pink, I'm Latino, I don't know what I am, I'm from the north, I'm from the south, I have this or that, I don't know what your thing is, but I can tell you after 30 years of doing this, I've met one just like you who made it. And if you want to live in the soup of your self-pity and in the soup of your victimhood, you're going to not like Dave Ramsey. So personal finance is 80% behavior. It's only 20% head knowledge. And once you get that dialed in, then you're in a place to go, okay, yes, there's outside variables. Yes, sometimes there's mean people in the world. Yes, sometimes there's racists. Sometimes there's sexists. Sometimes there's a whateverist. There's jerks and foolish and ignorant people everywhere. They're all around us. And yet, it's still your job to control what you can control, and they're not one of the things you can control. You can control the person in your mirror, and then you become successful. Ta-da! Is it easy? Well, crap, no. If it was easy, we would not recommend successful people. So, last summer, I guess it was last summer, we had at our Entree Leadership event uh, one of the sharks from the Shark Tank, and he and some of his folks and some other friends of mine all got together at my house for a big dinner afterwards. We ended up sitting on my deck and talking until the wee hours of the morning and became that night lifelong friends. I'll just tell you, I just love this guy. And I heard he was doing a new project, an Audible project, and I got him on the phone because I want you guys to know about it. So, America's Shark, you got to love him. Damon John is with us. Hey, my friend, how are you?
What's up, brother? I love what you were saying as I just tuned in, and yes, it was an amazing experience being with you and your family and everybody. So really good to hear from you, man.
Well, it's good to hear from you. I'm excited about this project. So you're going to tell people how you built a $6 billion brand called FUBU. I mean, we get to see on the Shark, but that's small potatoes compared to FUBU. And you did this, man, started, I mean, $40. You are a rags to riches story, and you overcame some crap, without a doubt, to do that. I mean,
Oh
you
yeah.
you got misunderstood, abused, and betrayed, and everything else, and still pulled it off. And which normally happens to all of us, but sometimes people think that line of success doesn't include that much manure. But it did in your case. It did in my case, for sure. That's one of the reasons we became fast friends. But talk about this new Audible original about founding FUBU. What are you talking about in this?
Yeah, yeah. So the Audible original is there is no book to this that has now become an Audible. This is purely an Audible original, greatly produced. It is talking about my days that I founded FUBU, what I went through, all the things and all the things that happened to me, good, bad, or ugly. A lot of the behind the scenes stories, such as you start having money come around. There's bad people and good people that come around. I think the thing though that for your listeners that they can learn from is the community that was built. The same way, we're seeing too many communities that are fighting because they're apart. We're not getting enough of the good stories of people like who listen to your show. They couldn't care less about other people's color, gender, and race and all that other stuff. It's about communities you build and really how we ended up growing and how I made a ton of financial mistakes, a ton, meaning closing FUBU 3 times from 89 to 92, running out of the first $100,000 that I had and almost being homeless, and then blowing around $20 million when I first made money. And I think that's important for people to learn too, because, fiscal education and responsibility is something that you learn every day. You keep growing. There's no way to just arrive at it. And I think that a lot of your listeners can absolutely take away from those big mistakes that I made. And thank God I'm still here after making those mistakes.
What was the best financial decisions, the best 3 decisions, best 3 habits or disciplines around money that you developed that you attribute to being able to stay on top of it?
I think living within my means and understanding that. I think understanding credit. And I also think probably in general understanding how money works from a taxes perspective, from interest, and understanding how to allocate it accordingly. And I think all three of those really kind of stay in tune and align with each other. But you're going to say three. I think there's going to be the fourth one is also the investment. You know, being able to not only have to go out and work for my money, but letting my money work for me, and not taking as many chances as I took in the past because I had money. I made my most ignorant or my most uneducated decisions was when I had the most money. That's when I made the biggest mistakes.
Well, you kind of get fat and sloppy. We all do, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like, that little bit don't matter. That little bit doesn't matter. I got it. And all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, I don't got it.
How many of the shark deals are paying you money right now? Are you still making a profit on?
I would think that around 3 out of 10 I make a profit on. Probably 2 out of because 2 out of 10 are kind of they're kind of trying to figure out who they want to be when they grow up, and then the other 5 out of 10 they just didn't work out. They I don't want to talk bad about the entrepreneur. Maybe it wasn't their time, but they made bad decisions or. They didn't educate themselves enough. But
it's a 3-hour Audible project called Founding FUBU. You can listen to it at DamonJohn.com. Is that right, Damon?
Absolutely.
All right, be sure and check it out, guys. This guy's awesome. Thank you, Damon.